Yay, 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 yay. Here we are. We're alive. Awesome. We are live with Bob Burg.
Hello, hello.
You know what? You have one of those names where you have to say the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
like a nursery rhyme, like, Bob Burg picked a peck of pickled peppers or something like that.
I just wouldn't feel right just saying Bob. You had to Bob Burg. You have to do the whole thing. And I'm not alone, right?
I've gotten made fun of so many times for doing that. Well, yeah, because I always, I say, hi, this is Bob Burg. When I, call, even people who've known me for years, I say,
The Bob Burg.
So, yeah, Bob, I know you by this time.
Well, you have to say the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I was trying to think back. I feel really bad about this, but I guess this is a good thing. I've known you long enough that I don't remember where I first started talking to you.
Yeah.
Was it NSA? You meet millions of people. You probably don't. So NSA, you're in NSA too.
Yeah. Huh?
Which is the National Speakers Association. I think probably you went to the New England chapter for something.
Yeah, I
probably met you.
And yeah, I think
I met you there. Yeah, I do know. I've known you since long before this, which is 2007, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, the very, very like December 27th, 2007. So for all intents and purposes, not just the intents, but the actual purposes too. But was probably 2008. But yes.
Yeah, because when I first met you, your big signature book wasn't this.
No,
it was Endless Referrals. Right. And now this is definitely, which do you consider to be your signature book?
Oh, the Go Giver.
Go Giver, yeah. Yeah. Did you see the shift, or it just happened and all of a sudden?
Well, I had the idea for the Go Giver based on Endless Referrals, because Endless Referrals was really about a system, in a sense, for people who, entrepreneurs and salespeople who knew they had a great product or service. They knew it brought great value to people, but they didn't necessarily feel comfortable with the idea of going out into their local communities and creating the kinds of relationships that would lead people to want to do business with them directly and refer them to others. Hence, Endless Referrals, and then the subtitle, Network Your Everyday Contacts into Sales. And again, it was a how-to system. I define a system personally as the process of predictably achieving a goal based on a logical and specific set of how-to principles, the key being predictability. So if it's been proven that by doing A, you'll get the desired results of B, well, then all you need to do is A and continue to do A and continue to do A. Eventually, you'll get the desired results of B. So that's what it was. It was a how-to system. But I'd always, and the basic premise was that all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to those people they know, like, and trust. You've only heard me say that like thousands of times. And so, but it was a how-to book, and I'd always read parables and always enjoyed parables, right? Now, they're stories, so they connect on a more of a heart-to-heart level, right? And I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could take that basic know, like, and trust premise from Endless Referrals and turn it into a parable? And so I thought, well, so what is the basic essence of those entrepreneurs and salespeople and business builders who can very quickly and sustainably create those kinds of know, like, and trust relationships? And it's that they're givers. They're always looking for ways to give value to others. They make it about the other person. And as a result, their business really blossoms. So coming up with the term, the Go Giver, was very easy. But the best thing I did for that book, as you know, is to ask John David Mann, who at the time was the editor-in-chief of a magazine I used to write for, and I knew he was a brilliant, brilliant writer. I asked him to be the lead writer and co-author of the story, because I knew he could do much more with it than I could. I'm a how-to author. What do I know? And if he said yes, which was a really good thing. And, from there, we wrote the first one, and it did well, and then had a series of them. So, yeah.
Make sure you click on the comment thing so you can see, because you're getting some love in the comments.
You know what? Yeah, and I'm like one of these people who it's dangerous when I try to multitask. I'm not.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll read it.
No, but I'm
Cynthia's on.
I wasn't really looking, because I just don't even think of multitasking.
Cynthia's on, Dana's on, Tamara's on, and Tamara says she absolutely loved your book. And
Oh,
matter of fact, Tamara's on my team for my core company. And
oh,
it's funny, Tamara, you'll notice when you hear Uncle Bob, I call him Uncle Bob because I got a kid and we all know they got to be Mr. or Uncle, right?
absolutely. And I'm always.
I'm not even Southern and I have to do it. But
Do you say
you'll notice,
bless her heart or bless his heart when when you're kind of
well,
denigrating someone and don't want them to know it?
no,
Like,
that's
that's
Southern.
Southern.
What we
Got
say in
My
New
friend Terry
England,
Wilkerson is like the best at that. Bless her
no, what we say up here is, I mean that in the best possible
heart.
way. So see, it's the same thing, but yeah, you
Yeah, I
can
didn't know
say,
that. I'm from your
yeah,
area originally.
yeah, really, really, yeah.
Yet I don't. So.
You can say, what a tramp, and I mean that in the best possible way. See,
What
and
about
then yeah.
I just remember saying wicked, and then there was another word after.
Oh, we said, well, wicked means very, so
Yeah.
everything's wicked, wicked funny, wicked, yeah. And you're a Duncan man, right? You
Oh,
used to be.
are you kidding? Used to
Oh,
be nothing.
you're
In
still a
fact, I
Duncan
have this
man.
cup mainly right here for your to honor you, since you are a fellow, New Englander. So I don't know if you're a Duncan person yourself, but
I am. There's a matter of fact, there's only one chain of anything within 20 miles of me because I live in rural New Hampshire, and it's Duncan, of course.
as
No, I
well.
have my naughty cup right at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, I
good.
like right. See, I like to have something. I'm driving a minivan. I don't get to be naughty much, so I have it on my cup and I can be naughty a little bit. Hey, I wanted to tell you something about the hair. This blue hair thing was a fundraiser for autism that me and about five of my friends did.
Oh,
Another one's on the call actually, and the five of us raised about $5,000
yes.
and we all dyed our hair blue. But what I've come to find out is having blue hair is very humbling. I didn't realize how judgy I was. I've judged other people and I shouldn't do it. And now I know because I was at the grocery store and I thought to myself, look at that lady's tight skirt, said the lady with the blue hair. So now whenever I say something judgy in my head, I follow it by said the lady with the blue hair and
Okay,
see.
see, that though is a wonderful lesson for all of us, though, isn't it? And on our call on Wednesday in that group you and I belong to, I think you should bring that up because we talk about how we all we make major decisions with other people based on limited information, right? And so someone looking at you with the blue hair is saying, but what if they knew you were actually doing it to raise a whole lot of money for autism awareness and cure? And,
Right. Well,
and it's the
and
same when we're in the sales process, though, too, because
and I didn't think I was that judgy of a person
oh, you are.
until
I'm kidding. I was surprised by that as well.
yeah. But I just wanted because I forgot to warn you ahead. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have blue hair.
I have a
You
blue
know,
shirt.
I obviously want to talk about the books, but that is my favorite thing is your new project. I am so glad I reached out to you just for that alone. That group is amazing. I already have 3 new friends, and
Well, you're a big part of it already. Everybody loved you, and
I,
wasn't
I
that
love that.
funny though? How one of the women from Canada,
Yes, the company that my core
yeah,
business. Yes,
her life was touched very deeply by a one of your speaking appearances in Canada, and that's lasted a lifetime for her. That's lasted.
I was I was like, whoa, that's
I
so
know.
nice.
Isn't that just? I know.
I like that. Yeah, but why I tell my uh, friends that we all work on business together. I call us our entrepreneur friends in Monday Morning Madness. Um, I'm trying to drag everybody out into the universe of non-direct sales because most of us are in direct sales and don't think of ourselves as entrepreneurial. And I know I wanted you in particular to talk about that because not only do you think that is entrepreneurial, but you think everybody should have an entrepreneurial mindset.
Well, I mean, I think it's like this, Lisa. Not every person is cut out to be an entrepreneur in terms of owning your own business. Okay, some people it's not what they want to do, what they feel comfortable doing. It's not what they're built for. But
Mhm.
every person, even if they're not their own, even if they don't own their own business, even if they work within another company structure, does need to have an entrepreneurial mindset, exactly like you said, because remember, just like if you're an entrepreneur, nobody's going to buy from you because you have a quota to meet, right? They're not going to buy from you because you need the money, and they're not even going to buy from you because you're a really nice person. They're going to buy from you because they believe they'll be better off by doing so than by not doing so. Well, if you're employed by someone else, your customer may not be the end user, the end buyer, but it's your supervisor, or it's your coworkers, or it's the person you're leading, it's the owner of the company, and it might indirectly or directly be the end user, depending upon what you do. So just like no one's going to buy from you if you're an entrepreneur because you need the money, nobody's going to hire you and keep you on as a paid employee because you have a mortgage payment to make. It's going to be because you find a way to make yourself of value to them. And again, that's just expected. Why else would someone hire someone? Okay. So yeah, we need to be entrepreneurial, because what does an entrepreneur do? They find ways to bring value to others. Right.
And it's funny, anybody on my team, there's quite a few on my team for my core company in the comments, and you'll recognize a lot of the stuff that Uncle Bob says because I say it all the time and I got it from him. The always adding value.
I think you were doing it long before you met me or heard my stuff. You're one of my heroes, and I just have so much admiration for you. By the way, you'll be proud of me. I am actually taking looks at the comment section, so I am kind of multitasking. I'm
nice. I know when I went to one of your events in Florida that you had, you mentioned send out cards. I don't know if you know I do that. I've sent you cards, yeah. You know how that has been such a big, I know you love it, that has been such a big part of my business because it's such a good way to add value.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I like all the things you do. You put pictures of your family on it. When you send me pictures of things you're doing, and pictures that I would like that you've seen on the internet, that no, so you do all these great things with it. You're a master of that. Yeah. I always I've done that for 12 years. I've sent over 65,000 cards. Wow.
But that, to me, that's such an easy way to, you know what I mean? We were just talking about that this morning. That's why I happened to mention it. But if you haven't yet read the first one, this is where people should start, right?
Yeah, but get the revised one. You have the first first came out. Yeah. There's in 2000, I don't know, 15, 16 maybe, we did a revised one. The story's the same, of course. You can't really change the story,
right?
But there's a Q&A thing at the back now, plus a discussion guide, because there's a lot of groups that use it as book discussion.
Awesome. So, and I only have that's turned into a whole franchise for you.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I don't have the last one because it's Kindle. Right. I notice you still have, I'm weeding mine out because I do mostly Kindle now. You won't ever go Kindle. No.
No, I mean, not that it's not a great thing. I mean, I don't know for sure because I've never tried it. But I'm just a book. I like.
Now, come on, you were making fun of my AOL account, and you haven't used Kindle.
Ooh, that's true. I was indeed making fun of your AOL account.
You were. You did. Matter of fact, I was surprised at that a little bit because my superpower is consistency.
Yeah, consistency and doing things like from way back in the 1930s, apparently. No, no, I know, and you are consistent, and that is a superpower of yours. That's true. But I was still surprised. I just well, at least what's your best address I can send AOL.
What's funny is I've got it on so many places that it usually when I start out with something, it doesn't make sense to switch because of the amount of places I have it. Yeah. So that's that. Matter of fact, that was the same with my last name. I didn't switch that either. Matter of fact, by the time I met you, I had already released number 2 out into the universe. Right, but I kept the last name because hey, I'm consistent.
Yeah. Well, you built your really your whole
Right.
reputation, right? You know, your whole
Right. That's kind of a weird thing about being a girl. So I just decided to keep this one. Janet Metzger's on in the comments.
Hey,
Loves this
Janet.
book. She said, loves the book. Lisa gave it to me
Oh,
several years ago. Thank you for writing it.
ah,
Yay.
thank
Yeah,
you.
and Janet's awesome. She's got a new organization too, where she's it's like mentoring each other for in particular our industry. So,
Oh,
matter of
cool.
fact, let's go back to the group because I think that's something. When we were in Rachel's coffee house on Wednesday, um, there are so many different people, and that's what I'm trying to get everybody to do is be around different people, not just in our own industry,
Mhm.
because I get my best ideas when I'm with other people.
Exactly.
Like I'm sure you probably know, hopefully, as I wrap my vehicle with a big ad. And I didn't find that idea inside direct sales or inside network marketing. I saw a Coke. Coke had one wrapped. And I went, how can I do that myself? So your group is so valuable to me because I get to hear from, tell me some of the categories. I know there's contractors, there's lawyers,
Oh,
there's just everybody.
realtors, there's book producers, there's coaches, there's we've got a I'm going to say plethora. Yeah, and I'm saying that just so I can say the word plethora. Whenever I can say plethora or hence, it's always a good.
And they're from all over the world too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're and you know it will be, you know, it will grow, but we're you know, it's a good size right now, and we're trying to add on kind of slowly, just so that we can kind of keep it like that for a while.
Right.
Eventually, what we'll do, because we just have that one, the video call a week. But we'll probably, once it gets to a new point, we'll probably break it into two so that we can have one in the morning, one at night for the people on the other side of the country, so that they don't
Oh,
have,
yeah.
you know, have to, you know, but that really fun. But right now, Kathy and I are just, you know, kind of building it very, very slow like that. It's pretty much been, excuse me, word of mouth, you know, just so far, it's been so much fun.
You know what I like, even when I went to the in-person event, it's just, to me, it's a lot like being a member of something, like, as an example, like the Chamber of Commerce. I don't go into that thinking, what am I getting
Right.
from it? I go into that thinking, what am I giving
Yeah.
to
What
it?
value can I bring to it? Yeah.
Right. And I think that's so important. And a lot, most people, when I tell them about either like the chamber or a group like this, they immediately ask me what they're going to get from it. So how would you suggest I turn that? So it's hard to make people understand it's not what you're getting in the moment.
You know, I think it's, you will most likely receive a whole bunch from it, but you won't if you go in with the attachment to receiving or getting. To the degree you go in with the idea and the intent and the focus to give. That's why we say, take your focus off your, you know, the person who can take their focus off themselves and place it on bringing value to others causes people to feel good about them. People want to get to know you. They like you. They trust you. They want to be a part of your life. They want to do business with you. They want to tell others about you. They want to give value to you. But that happens as a result of your focus on bringing value or giving value to them. So yeah, go with the idea of giving. You probably will receive plenty. Don't be attached to that having to happen.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
right?
do you mind just briefly going over the five laws? Because one of the last one is the one, right?
You know what? And this is highly irregular. Can you give me 15 seconds to put the air down a little bit?
Sure,
Because
sure.
I am sweating bullets and I don't want to be sweating in front of everybody while I'm doing this.
Sure. Yep. Yeah. Hi, Marie. Marie's on. And JP's on. Hey, JP. JP's a millennial. I knew you had AOL with me. Cynthia's on. She was on this morning too.
Did you all have a nice conversation while I was gone?
Yeah, a brief one. See, I don't have to worry about the heat up here.
Yeah, I know.
I think I got short sleeves because it's like 48. I'm in heaven.
So, excuse me. So we were talking about excuse me, the Go-Giver or
The
something, the 5
the
laws.
5 laws. Yeah. I was just wondering if you just briefly say, so give people a taste of it.
Oh, yeah. And so the 5 laws themselves are the laws of value, compensation, influence, authenticity, and receptivity. The first one, the law of receptivity, excuse me, let's back that up. The first one, the law of value, says your true worth, in the business sense, of course, your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. Now, this sounds counterintuitive when you first hear it. Give more in value than I take in payment. That sounds, kind of like a recipe for bankruptcy. So we have to just understand the difference between price and value. Price is a dollar figure. It's a dollar amount. It's finite. It is what it is. Value, on the other hand, is the relative worth or desirability of a thing, of something, to the end user or beholder. In other words, what is it about this thing, this product, service, concept, idea, what have you, that brings so much worth or value to another person that they will willingly exchange their money for it? And while you make a very healthy profit. So let's just take a very quick example that I often use because it's really easy to kind of get our arms around. Okay. You hire an accountant to do your taxes. She charges you $1,000. That's her fee, or literally her price, $1,000. But what value does she give you in exchange? Well, she saves you $5,000 in taxes. She saves you countless hours of time, and she provides you and your family with the security and the peace of mind of knowing it was done correctly. So she gave you well over $5,000 in value in exchange for $1,000 price. So she gave you more in value than she took in payment. So you feel great about it. But she also made a very healthy profit because to her, it was worth it to her to exchange her time, her energy, her knowledge, what have you, in it to exchange that for that $1,000 fee. In fact, and one of my heroes, Harry Brown, is the person I learned this from. He said, in any free market based exchange, and when I say free market, I simply mean no one is forced to do business with anyone else. People do so on their own volition, right? For their own individual reasons. In any free market based exchange, there should always be two profits: the buyer profits and the seller profits, because each of them come away better off afterwards than they were beforehand. And that's really what the law of value is all about. Now, law number 2, the law of compensation, says your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So where law number 1 said to give more in value than you take in payment, law number 2 tells us that the more people whose lives you touch with the exceptional value you provide, the more money with which you'll be rewarded. Your accountant in the first example did a great job of giving you more in value than she took in payment. So if you're her customer or client, you are happy with her. You would do business with her again, I assume, and you would also probably refer her or tell a lot of people about her, right? So her other customers and clients feel the same way about her. So our accountant is very quickly amassing what we call an army of personal walking ambassadors. And as she continues to add that kind of exceptional value to the lives of more and more people, her income will continue to grow and grow. In this part of the story, Nicole Martin, who was the CEO, she advised Joe, who was the protege, that law number 1 really represents your potential income, right? The law of value. It's so important, but just serving one person isn't going to earn you a whole lot of money, not in most things that we do. Law number 2 is all about your actual income because it's all about the impact you have in a number of people's lives. So we could say that exceptional value plus significant reach equals very high compensation. Law number 3, the law of influence, says your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. Again, this sounds counterintuitive, maybe even counterproductive, perhaps even Pollyanna-ish, right, when you first hear it. But then you think about it, the greatest leaders the top influencers, the most consistent highest money earners, this is how they run their lives and conduct their businesses. They're always looking out for that other person's interest. Now, I want to qualify this real quickly if I can, because I think this is easy to misunderstand and it's very important. When we say place the other person's interests first, we don't mean that you should be anyone's doormat or a martyr or self-sacrificial in any way. Absolutely not at all. It simply, as Joe, the protege, learned from several of the mentors, and you and I alluded to this earlier, the golden rule of sales, of business, of networking is that all things being equal, people will do business with and refer business to those people they know, like, and trust. Well, Lisa, as you know, eh, the fastest, most powerful, most effective way to do this, to elicit this in others, is by genuinely moving from an I focus or me focus to an other focus, looking to, as Sam, one of the mentors in the story, advised Joe, to make your win all about the other person's win. Law number 4 is the law of authenticity. This says the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. In this part of the story, Deborah, one of the mentors, she shared a story or something she learned in her sales career, and that is that all the skills in the world, the sales skills, technical skills, people skills, as important as they are, and they are indeed all very, very important, they're also all for naught if you don't come at it from your true, authentic core. However, when you do, when you show up as yourself day after day, week after week, month after month, people feel good about you. They feel comfortable with you. They feel safe with you. And why wouldn't they? They know who you are. You are your superpower, consistent, right? They always know who they're getting. And that's important. You cannot inspire trust without consistency. And consistency is a giant part of authenticity.
I want to take notes here. Sorry. You said something I hadn't heard. Go ahead.
I think the key to being authentic and showing up that way is having the self-confidence to do so. And that means you understand both your intrinsic value, which as a human being you have just by nature of being human, but you also understand your market value. Now, I define market value as that combination of strengths, traits, talents, and characteristics that allows you to bring value to others, to individuals, to the marketplace as a whole, in a way in which you'll be rewarded. And we all have these assets of value, okay? But it can be difficult to recognize them because we're human beings. And we're all so emotionally close to ourselves, it can be very difficult to really understand our greatness and what we have to offer, what our superpowers are. Because remember, we see the world from our own unique belief system, point of view, operating system, right? And we tend to think that others experience the world by and large the same way we do. But they don't. And so we might have this great talent or characteristic or trait like Deborah in the story, but we don't even realize it because we think, oh, everybody has that, but they don't. And that's why it's so important to, get with someone, whether formally a coach or a mentor or someone who can help you to identify, recognize, and embrace that market value, that authentic value that you bring to the table. And then law number 5 is the law of receptivity. And the law of receptivity simply says the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. And this means nothing more than understanding that, yeah, you breathe out, but you also have to breathe in. It's not one or the other. We breathe out carbon dioxide, we breathe in oxygen. We breathe out, which is giving, we breathe in, which is receiving. And contrary to what the world around us tells us, the world around us gives us horribly negative, not mixed, but negative messages about money, about prosperity, about abundance, about business. Oh my goodness. All you have to do is, listen or read the news or see it, the tweets or Facebook, and people with money are just horrible and evil and this and that. Well, it's a big world. There are lots of people who are good and evil and in between. Money typically has nothing to do with whether they're really good or evil, but it does have a lot to do typically with how much value they've added to the marketplace. And so we need to realize, and this is very important, that money is simply an echo of value. Money is an echo of value. It's the thunder to value's lightning, which simply means to the degree that we're able to provide value to the marketplace and to the lives of many people, placing their interests first, doing so from an authentic base, that's the degree that we create the benevolent context for our success. But then we've got to be able to allow ourselves to receive, to breathe in as well. Giving and receiving are not opposite concepts. Giving and receiving are simply two sides of the very same coin, and they work in tandem.
And for those of you who are thinking that giving value has to be expensive, that's not true. Even like writing thank you in red marker on their tag, taping a little tiny Tootsie Roll on their receipt.
That's right.
Those are all value added things that the other people aren't doing.
It's added value when you listen to people. It's great value when you are empathetic to someone. It's great value when you educate someone. It's great value when you are grateful to someone. It's wonderful value when you connect people with other people who can both benefit from each other. So many ways to provide that additional value. It's just, it's limited only by your imagination.
Well, this went by so quick, but I don't want to infringe on your time. I know you have a schedule to keep.
No, that's okay. Let's do this, because just in case anyone has questions or anything else you want to do like another 8 minutes, because that will be 40. You'll be 20 till the
That's fine. I just don't want to infringe. The only thing
I just have another I've got to get ready for, but I've got 8 minutes. I am totally good.
Now, before you answer one more question, I need to ask you to do one thing for me that I haven't heard in a long, long time, and I've been dying to ask you to do. I want you to do Zig for me, please.
Oh, let's think of, we'll take his most famous saying that is usually misstated, which always drives me nuts. But
no.
Actually, no, you don't. I'm not saying you've done it. I'm saying I usually when people say this, that they misstate it, which is one of those, to me, sayings that should never be misstated. You see, you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want.
You are so spot on with that.
Well, thank you, Lisa. And I just want to say you are one of my all-time people.
Oh, do you know he attended DSWA with Nikki, Direct Selling World Alliance with Nikki, and I met him and had my picture with him, and I didn't know he saw me speak. I don't think I'd have been able to do it if I had known. He is awesome.
To our last, remember, I used to put on those conferences, Kathy and I, and he came to our last one, and at that time he had a brain injury, and the last couple of years were really tough in terms of his speaking. Usually his daughter Julie or his son Tom would go on stage with him, but this time when he came to ours, Tom, his son, was on stage, and so was Mrs. Zigler, the redhead. Right? And she told me afterwards that it was the first time in his career that she had actually been on stage with him. I know. I noticed shivers, when I
really. Oh, I just got shivers from that.
There's the interesting thing too, that afterwards, the Zigler family, the ones who were there, Zig, Mrs. Zigler, and Tom, they stayed and signed autographs, took pictures, hugged, spoke with people. It had to be an hour, maybe even longer. And we had, a ton of great speakers that came that weekend. I can't tell you how many emails I received from people who said it was the highlight of the conference for that time afterwards, just to see the Ziglers be the Ziglers.
Yeah, that was,
it was.
I cherish that picture. I was just like so happy that he saw me speak. I know that sounds like a weird thing, but and that he didn't like leave the room because as a speaker, it's hard to.
I'm sure he was taking notes.
Oh, he said some nice things, which helped me immensely because I'm a doubter of my own ability to do the speaking thing.
I mean, you've obviously proven yourself long ago that but nonetheless, any of us in front of Zig, a person who's a hero of ours, he's have those feelings. So sure.
He's done hugely well. Facebook user said, thanks for reviewing the 5 laws. So inspiring. We sometimes forget we need to go back to the basics. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I want to read all the books straight through again. I just realized that I need to do that. I was looking, when you signed your email BB, I thought of BK, the big kahuna.
Right. That's
right. Went, oh, yeah, that's right.
They haven't read the book. They have no idea who that is. So
right. So they should start with the red one, the first one, though, because the rest won't make as much sense. Yeah.
And that's just Burg, BURG.com, and you can go to where it says books, and you can read a excerpt and chapter 1 to see if you like it first, and then if you do, you can always then click through if you like.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. And that was my main thing that I wanted you to do, though, is Zig, because you're so funny with that.
You like my Zig.
I know. And I posted the picture in the announcement of the interview. You are like, what, 6'5"?
No, not that. I think I was about 6'2.5". I think as I've gotten older, I already have started to shrink a little bit.
Well, me too. But I'm standing next to you, I look like a garden gnome. So it's like, how's the weather up there? I didn't ever consider myself that short of a person, but No, do you know that conference that I was at with you where you had a lot of big name speakers? I didn't know who Bob Proctor was. And you said, I didn't know the secret. I didn't know any of them. And it was so funny. The secret was already out. I just hadn't found it yet. And I'm so
that long at the time.
Right. I'm so embarrassed though, because you said, make sure you have your picture taken with Bob Proctor and everything. And I thought, oh, I'll humor Bob Proctor. And
that
right. And something he said that day, though, I always loved it, is his goal was to sit in the front of the plane, the back of the car. That's always, I love that. I
don't really recall that. That's great.
Yeah, and he said that a lot. I saw him last year with Les Brown. They were speaking at one of the other companies I rep for in Las Vegas, and both of them. What is Bob Proctor, like 86?
He could be that old.
He stood there and delivered for 2 hours. I swear he did not even take water. He stood there in his suit, stood up, didn't sit. I swear. And one of the, I sound like an old lady. One of the little 20-year-olds next to me was complaining he was so long, and I'm like, "Are you insane?" It's Bob Proctor.
Like, drink this in, buddy. Drink this in, because it's more wisdom than you're gonna have.
Well, and what are the odds of seeing those two in person like that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
yeah.
Two of the best in the business. Two totally different styles, but two of the best in the business.
Right. Well, and truthfully, I like Les Brown too because of his level of shake you upness. I guess that's it. I'm actually, do you know Tony Robbins? I'm actually afraid to go to one of his things. I know that sounds weird, but I'd be afraid he'd be hit too close to home. You know what I mean? I'm not sure I want to be that transparent. So, oh man. But anyway, so yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming on. I really do.
Pleasure, my friend.
And I will thank you everybody for coming on. I'm going to post this, of course, on the YouTube channel. And if Uncle Bob is in the group if you happen to want to ask him a question. I'm sure I'll let him know that it's in there so he can answer it for you. But definitely check out his books and the new group, because that is my new favorite thing.
Go Giver Success Alliance.
Yes, I love it. So I'm going to stop the broadcast and stay right there for a second if you would. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.